The African people should feel the AU in their lives. Excellencies, if elected chairman, I propose to utilize the transition period to critically analyze the existing proposals for reforms and building capacity of the AU Commission. The ultimate aim is to follow up on the implementation of the reports so far formulated. Certainly, the story of Africa is not all gloom and doom. Thanks to the work Your Excellencies are doing, Africa has been on an upward and positive trajectory in recent years. In February, the African Development Bank reported that Africa will account for 11 of the world's 20 fastest growing economies this year. The continent is set to remain the second fastest growing region after Asia. I deeply appreciate your efforts in restoring hope on the continent, and it is my wish to have a chance to complement your efforts as AU chairperson. Excellencies, throughout my leadership and service to the public, I have noted the significance of defining strategic goals and appreciating the influence of political dynamics on the outcomes of these goals. So decision-making must be backed by a balance between policy and geopolitics. I plan to work with you, Your Excellencies, to integrate this continent. You are one people who unfortunately are trying too hard to separate from each other. I have traveled the length and breadth of this beautiful continent, and I have seen the faces of Africa's future. I was involved in peace negotiations in Burundi with Marimo Nyerere. I was involved as the mediator of the AU with the conflict in Côte d'Ivoire. I was involved in Mozambique. So I understand the continent. And I see the faces of our children, full of hope and energy, and unbound by the borders of yesterday. I dream of an Africa where those borders and colonial languages no longer divide us. We don't want to see Africans to be divided as Anglophones, Francophones, Lusophones. I want them to be Africaphones. From the hills of Kenya to the deserts of Sahara and the Kalahari, from the lakes of Great Rift to the rainforests of Central Africa, from Indian Ocean to the Atlantic, Africans must be one. Its resilience and hope for a bright future transmitted to our young people. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, my selection to be Kenya's candidate is not about one man's ambition, but an African's journey to serve the motherland. Indeed, I plan to constitute my cabinet of chairpersons with a continental outlook. I'm grateful that friends and eminent persons across Africa have volunteered to engage in my campaigns from the West, North, South, Central, and of course, Eastern Africa. Excellencies, I'm ready to serve. My heart is ready, and my hands are steady, and with your support, I shall get the opportunity to be of service to Africa, the cradle of mankind. I am made in Eastern Africa for Africa.